Alright, hi, welcome back. I'm going to go, episode number 20? Going to talk about a little bit of maintenance. So, of all the things in the tool acquisitions that we get in the shop, we still have to maintain things. That's the thing is, you don't want a tool to fall out of maintenance, the next thing you know it's unsafe and it's going to hurt you or hurt somebody else or this or that. Yeah, I mean, this goes along with lots of different things, like, gosh, I can just sit here and I can look around the shop. I've got an oxyacetylene set up over here. I mean, you want to make sure your gauges are still working properly so that say your acetylene pressure's not too much, say your hoses need to be in good order, so you want to look at those, inspect those, and your torch and everything, and the tanks generally, if you use it enough, which I probably don't, they get exchanged every once in a while, and those are supposed to be hydro tested from whoever you're exchanging them with, so that's generally taken care of there. I mean, geez, let's see, the welders that I've got my Lincoln PowerMIG 140C, my Lincoln Precision TIG 225. I've got a couple other welders that are, whatever, really cheapies, but those are my two that I really use around. And I guess for maintenance on those, yeah, there's a little bit of care to them, but for the most part, they're a pretty solid machine. What you really need to keep in track on those are your weld leads and your hoses for your shielding gas. And again, with shielding gas, you got a regulator and stuff like that. So you just want to make sure that those are in good working order. So then let's just keep on moving down the line as I see it. Behind us here, we've got my plasma cutter, Hypertherm PowerMax 45. For the most part, it's pretty solid. You do have the torch cable, air hose, and supplies and stuff that can get nicked or damaged that you want to keep good care and track of. But at the same time, I know the Hypertherm recommends every so often take the cover off their case and just blow it out with some clean air. It gets dusty in there. Dust builds up and then heat builds up, and next thing you know, electronic boards fry, and you might as well just buy a new one at that point. So then we've also got the big one here. I've got my plasma table. My CNC plasma table is it's probably my largest investment as far as tools around here, and it's got rack and pinion gearing. It's got servo motors. I mean, the servo motors are kind of, if they go, you replace them. It sucks, but you do it. And you can really increase the life of the table by doing a little maintenance. Make sure that your cables are good, the rack and pinion gear sets on them, make sure that those, keep them clean. I've got a downdraft system on it, which probably 90% of the time I'm controlling all of the dust, if not more than 90%, away from any of the moving parts on my table. So there's some good things with that. I've got a 8-inch pedestal grinder that, I mean, it's not too much maintenance on that. I guess the wheels shouldn't come loose, but you might want to look at that before really turn it on. But the big thing with that is if you're using a tool rest and you want that tool rest to be, you want to adjust that so it's close enough to the wheel so there's no it really reduces the chance that if the wheel's grinding your tool or whatever you're grinding, that it doesn't take it between the wheel and the tool rest, and that's a really, really bad day, because then your part's ruined. Hopefully it wasn't your finger, and then the wheel could blow up, the grinding wheel could blow up on you and really make a bad day. Let's see. Other things with motors and moving parts or something. I've got my little drill press. I mean, it's got a belt on there to change the speeds and things like that, but for the most part it's an enclosed motor. It kind of takes care of itself. I've got this Harbor Freight 4x6 horizontal vertical bandsaw, and with it, I mean, it's again self-enclosed motor, takes care of its own on that, but it's got a worm gearbox on it that requires oil changes. I mean, you know, if it's, and then also just make sure that the guides and things and the belts or I mean not the belt, but well, there is a belt on there actually, but the guides and the blades, and make sure they're just in good working order, and you know, you'll be doing all right. Self-made tools. I've got I'm making this belt sander, and it's got a couple of what I call pillow blocks on it that have grease zerks on them. You know, make sure that those are maintained. My 20-ton shop press. I mean, I've got a 20-ton air over hydraulic on it, so, or air operated hydraulic cylinder on it. So I mean, you just gotta make sure that it's got the proper amount of hydraulic fluid in the bottle and or in the reservoir. It's not rocket science. It's just it's tedious. You got to keep up on the maintenance of it. So some other big ones to go along more. I mean, shop air and my plasma table to take a lot of air. So I've got 80-gallon air compressor that, you know, it takes oil, and then my and it's got a belt and moving parts and everything as well. But let's see, from there I've got my new one is the lathe that I just got. I mean, and it's got all of its oil and moving parts and things you got to keep clean on it and stuff like that. Everything that you buy, I mean, it's just like buying another vehicle. You gotta maintain it, all of its fluids. You just gotta do it. Again, it can be a pain. It's very tedious. You might want to whip up an Excel spreadsheet or something, or just leave something on the equipment or near the equipment or in your shop, something that tells you, hey, I gotta do this. It'll save you in the long run from having to buy new equipment. Maybe from having to pay for workers' comp if an employee, or you don't really pay workman's comp on yourself, but you know, it keeps people from getting injured. I mean, there's lots of ways that people are going to get injured, and I'd say two contributors are either dumb people or the people, or just equipment failures that are probably not maintained. So I shouldn't say dumb people, I'm sorry about that, but anyways, that's kind of my topic for the week. If you got some further comments, please leave them below, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys can relate to this and do a little bit of preventative maintenance on some of your equipment before it's too late. So thanks again.